Hey guys, and welcome to Escape with Watch Reviews. My name is Steve, and today we're looking at two Benyar watches. Now this is just going to be a quick review. You'll notice I didn't do the fancy intro or anything like that. I'm just trying to get some information out there for you guys. Pagani Design, they asked me if I wanted to check out some Benyar watches, and I said sure, why not? They sent me these two watches for free. I don't have to return them. I'm actually going to give these watches away. But if you look on AliExpress, go in there, type in Benyar watches, and you sort by the best selling, you'll see these two watches, number one, and number two. So these watches have sold in buckets, just tons of sales. Between the two, there's got to be at least like 3,000 or 4,000 sales of these things, and they actually get reviewed pretty good. So this one is 4.8 stars, this is 4.9 stars, so that's kind of crazy, right? So I was really curious about these watches. I think early on in their days, they were very shady with their marketing. They kind of opened that up a little bit better. But there's still a little bit of shade going on there. And we'll talk about that in these quick reviews. But let's just, I say we just jump right in and we'll get to it. So I'm going to set this model off to the side here. If you want to just jump straight to this one, use the timestamps down below. I will timestamp the start of this review and timestamp the start of this review. So yeah, I say let's get to it. So we'll start with this one here. This is the Benyar model BY5140M. The retail price for this watch is $25. And currently, right now, it is on sale for $22, I believe. $22 or $21. So what are you getting for $21? You do have an option of a stainless steel strap. It does come in a couple different colors. So this is a gold and blue with a blue dial. They do sell this in black as well. They sell it in gold with black. So there's some options. I think this is an interesting look, definitely interesting look, not one that I would personally buy. If I was going to buy this watch, I'd just get the black one. But yeah, it is pretty interesting. So you are getting a 45 millimeter case. It's about 50 millimeters long. It's about 14 millimeters thick, and you have 22 millimeter lug width. The crystal is a mineral crystal, and you can see it is just a single domed mineral crystal there. It does kind of have like a green tinge to it. So that just tells me that it's not the greatest piece of crystal. Yeah, so, you know, it is what it is. It's going to scratch, you know that. The bezel here is anodized or, you know, plated in this blue. The case is also plated. It is an alloy case. It is not stainless steel. If we flip it over to the case back here, you'll see that it is a signed case back, which is pretty nice to see. It says all solid stainless steel. That, you know, if someone was just reading that, they would think the entire watch is all solid stainless steel. That pertains just to the case back. The case back is stainless steel. You can see here it is signed, but it's not signed very nicely. If you get real close to it, I mean, you don't even have to do this in real life, but I'm just showing you. It's not very well done. It's kind of smudgy and all that stuff, but it's a case back. I don't really care about it too much, right? So the case is fully polished. Actually polished pretty nicely, kind of has that Omega style, you know, the swooping lugs to it. You've got an unsigned crown here. It is just a simple push-pull crown. I believe it's 30 meters of water resistance. Yeah, 30 meters of water resistance. So I would not get this thing wet. Push-pull crown though, and everything functions perfectly fine. See the date tick over at midnight there. The alignment, I think, has been fine as well. Yeah, no real issues with the time setting or anything like that. I think the dial is done pretty nicely. You got a nice sunburst. You have some applied indices. They are all filled with lume. The lume on this is just terrible. It's not even worth showing. But yeah, I think overall it's pretty nice. You know, the movement does hack, as you can see there. Let's see if there's I believe there's a quick date set position on this. Trying to get to that. It's a little difficult. I can't tell in the position how these on. Anyway. There you go. So pretty difficult to get into that position. It wants to the crown just wants to pop back in, which is really annoying. So I'm just going to leave that as is. The chronograph on this thing was actually surprising. So yeah, I'm going to show it to you here. So you press this top pusher here and it starts the chronograph. You got your chronograph counter down here, main seconds, and then you've got a split second up here. So this one, when you stop it, you can see here, we stopped it at 9.95 seconds. So that's kind of cool that it shows that type of accuracy. The one thing, I don't even know if you guys can hear it, but I can definitely hear it when I'm running this thing. You can hear every single tick of that second going on. So it's not the quietest movement. In a normal ambient sounding room, you're never going to hear that. But in a quiet room, you can definitely hear the ticking. And this, after the first minute, this does stop, but it will kind of reset to the correct split second time here when you do reset the thing. I'm just going to let this run while I talk about it, and we'll show you how this all works. But yeah, I think overall, for $25, it's not a bad watch. Even the strap, it's pretty nice. It's a little stiff, but I think the more you wear it, the more it will break in. It's got the big Benyar branding on it, big Benyar branding on this side here. But I think it looks nice. You've got a gold buckle here that is signed, which is surprising. But yeah, no quick release or anything like that. 22 millimeter lugs, which is nice because you're probably going to want to change this out for something else. But yeah, I think for $25, it's not a bad watch. If I was buying something for $25, $22 on AliExpress, this isn't the watch for me, but 3,000 other people out there definitely think this is the watch for them. Personally, I would go with something like this, that Sanda Tank for $17. It's a much nicer watch in my opinion, and I think it looks a lot better. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. I do think, if this is the style you're going for, I think you're going to be pretty happy with it. I was pretty surprised. There's no glaring issues with it. The movement has been fine. The movement has been accurate and all that stuff. I've got no real major complaints with this other than this all solid stainless steel. It just should say stainless steel case back. But I think going in, knowing that this is an alloy case, you're going to be happy with this watch for $25. I mean, $25 shipped across the world is not a bad price at all for this thing. I'm just going to reset the chronograph here, and you can watch my main complaint with it. So we are at 3 minutes, 51.65 seconds. So it's kind of cool that you get that type of accuracy with this movement. I definitely was not expecting that. The reset is just one of those really bad ones where you gotta wait for this thing to go all the way around. So could you imagine if you had it at 55 minutes, you'd have to wait for it probably for about 5 minutes for it to go right back to zero. So that's one of the downfalls with this movement. Otherwise though, I think it's completely fine, completely acceptable, and yeah, it's not bad. All right, and now onto this one. So this is the Benyar BY51, where is it? 5185M. So this is obviously an homage to an Oyster Perpetual. They do also sell this with an Explorer style dial, and they sell it with a Milgauss style dial. So keep that in mind. It does come in this Tiffany blue, comes in red, yellow, black, and green, I believe. Retail price for this watch is $55. Currently it's on sale for $51. So what are you getting for $51? So you're getting a 39.5 millimeter case. It is 48 millimeters lug tip to lug tip, 20 millimeter lug width, and it's 11.6 millimeters thick. So I think the case size on this thing is really nice actually. And I think the case itself, pretty nicely done. You've got nice sharp points to these corners here, which I think is a design cue that I really enjoy. There's no sharp edges or anything like that. You do have a display case back showing off a Seagull automatic movement, which we'll talk about in just a second. It's got 100 meters of water resistance, if you can trust that. It does come with a stainless steel bracelet. I don't know if it's 316, probably not 316 stainless steel, but it is a stainless steel bracelet. You have solid links, you have solid end links, you have female pivot end links, which is nice to see as well. And you've got this really unique clasp. So it's almost a butterfly clasp, but not really. So it's just a typical fold over clasp. But I think it integrates pretty nicely. It is signed there, fully brushed bracelet. Just it kind of clashes with the case, in my opinion. And the bracelet itself, it's fine. For $55, it's kind of on par with what I've seen for $55. So not great, but not horrible either. Definitely wearable. No micro adjust. You got push pins for sizing. I had to remove 2 links for my 7.5-inch wrist. And yeah, I think it's perfectly fine. There's no sharp edges or anything like that. The finishing is pretty okay. It's just okay. Definitely nothing special. A little bit worse than what you get on a Pagani design, but not bad. The star of the show, though, is the dial, which over top of the dial is a mineral crystal. The case, I think, I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but the case is alloy. So it is a brass and then plated with chrome. The dial on this, though, I think is actually really nice. You can see here, I think it's all aligned pretty good, which is surprising for something like this. I think it looks pretty good. Even the handset on it is pretty nicely done. A little bit short, but not terrible. I think the color on it is really, really nice. You got a date window here. Really teeny tiny date window, but I mean it does function just fine. So this crown here is just a push-pull crown, so you pull it out to the first position and you can change your date. Going the wrong way. So it is a quick date, which is nice. And then you pull it out to the second position. It does hack, which is nice, and that's where you set your time. And surprisingly, it hacks, it hand winds. It's a quiet movement. It's halfway decent to look at. As you can see there, it's got a custom rotor on it, which is surprising. Yeah, I mean, I think someone that's just getting into automatic movements, this might be a good watch for you. It's obviously, if you wanted to wear it every day, I would go with a different color. These ones are pretty bold, pretty bright, not something you're going to want to wear every single day. But I guess you could if you wanted to. But I think for $50, you're getting an automatic movement with 100 meters of water resistance. Yeah, it's pretty good value in my opinion. I was actually quite surprised with this watch. The polishing is done, or I guess the plating is done pretty nicely for a $55 watch. I was quite surprised by it. Yeah, definitely. It's not perfect, but as you can see, where the lugs meet the bezel here, you can see it's a little rough there, but that's what you get with a $55 watch. They're going to kind of clean that up on some other, a little bit higher price bracket. So just keep that in mind. But for $55, this thing is actually pretty nice. I was quite surprised by it. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on these two Benyar watches. $50 or $55 for this watch. Would I spend, $25 or $30 more to get a Pagani design Daytona? Yeah, absolutely. You're getting sapphire, you're getting a Seiko movement, and you're getting a better bracelet, but it's not an automatic. What about, would I pay $80 for this over this Benyar? Yeah, I probably would, but this one's quite a bit bigger. The design isn't for everyone, and it comes on a terrible strap, so you're gonna have to pay an extra $10 or so to get a decent strap. What about a Corjute Speedy? $55 for this, $55 for this. Again, you're getting an automatic. If you're going for an automatic, this isn't even an option for you, and that's pretty much the case with everything. $55 and an automatic. This is probably your best watch that you're gonna find on AliExpress. Maybe something like this for $75 or $80 on sale for a Milgauss or an Explorer or Air King or Oyster Perpetual. They sell this case with all those dials. Yeah, $30 extra for this, I would definitely do it. This I think is the biggest competition, and unsurprisingly, it's from the same sister company. Pagani Design, Benyar, they're basically the same company. So, but $30 extra on sale, you can get this thing for. You're getting stainless steel, sapphire, Seiko NH35, and a better bracelet. I kind of think it's a no-brainer. But again, these ones you can buy every single day for $55 with an automatic. Pretty cool colors. serviceable bracelet. Yeah, it's kind of hard to beat. So that's kind of my thought on Benyar. If you know what you're getting, or if you know what you're going into when you're buying these things, I think they're pretty good values. You know, alloy cases, expect that. Mineral crystal, expect that. And, you know, okay movements. Yeah, expect that, and you're going to be, I think, pretty happy with them. Yeah, definitely two watches that I personally wouldn't buy myself, but obviously I'm a collector, and I'm going to go for the higher end stuff. But I can definitely see the appeal in these things. I can see why each one of these have sold, you know, a few thousand units on AliExpress, and I can see why they get rated so high. So definitely some interesting watches for sure. I'm going to be leaving the links for both of these down below. Go check those out. Those will be affiliate links. I really appreciate you guys using my affiliate links. Thank you so much for doing that. Yeah, if you are interested in winning these watches, I will probably be giving these away somehow. I don't know how. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Reddit. And stay tuned here, and we'll do a giveaway of these things and probably some other watches, because I'm getting way too many watches. So stay tuned to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.